So an event around the house that I'm actually testing is watering the plants. So I had two plants. One of them was fairly moist. The other one was actually a lot drier, almost rock hard soil. Um, and what I was questioning was why wouldn't the drier soil absorb that water a lot quicker versus the one that's actually moist? Um, what I would do is I would actually water the plant to test it. Which of course this one I've already tried it plenty of times, so it's not going to work as good as it should. But what was happening was, as I would water that drier soil, and it would just run out of the bottom. Um, I tested it several times, um, and the water ran out slower each time that I tried it. Um, but what my prediction was is that the soil had to be broke up because it was a lot harder. Therefore, the water had a barrier that it had to go through in order to absorb into the rest of the soil. Um, what I actually used was these two plants, same size pots, same amount of soil. One was moist, one was drier, and then I used two 20-ounce bottles per plant to test the moisture retention of the plants. The results that I got, of course, were that this wetter specimen actually absorbed the water really quickly with a little bit of waste. It ended up being about a third of a bottle waste when I measured it. As far as the drier plant, I poured the two bottles in, and about 1.5 bottles actually came out of the bottom. I just caught it in a bowl and then poured it back into the plastic bottles in order to measure it. What I ended up finding out was that the more water I actually poured into this soil, the soil actually ended up expanding. What was happening is it was actually absorbing more of the water into the soil. The soil was expanding, and therefore it was able to hold more of the water. Upon further research on some other websites like the Texas Nursery and Landscape website, I actually found that a lot of these potting soils actually have peat in them. It's a type of moss, and it's great for soil retention, and it works like a sponge, so it absorbs all the water. But if the plant ends up getting dry, the soil ends up getting dry, just like a sponge in your kitchen, the peat gets rock hard and it actually shrinks. So what was happening is you pour the water into the pot, and it's creating a gap in between the soil. You can't really see it here, but there was actually a gap right in here, and the water was running from here out and down the side of the pot. So that's why it wasn't actually absorbing a lot of the water. It was just running out of the gap and down through the bottom of the pot. As I watered it more, of course, the hard soil soaked up the water and then expanded, and that allowed for that gap to be closed up and the water wouldn't run out. So that was the test results that I actually found, and then with further research, I was able to kind of put a reason behind it.